Brazil's KC-390 has become one of the most unexpected success stories in modern military aviation. What began as a national program to reduce Brazil's dependence on foreign suppliers has evolved into a platform shaping air mobility strategies across Europe. The aircraft's rapid rise reflects a convergence of industrial capability, changing geopolitical pressures, and a shift in how European militaries think about logistics after years of underinvestment. The recent wave of KC-390 adoptions in Europe is not happening in a vacuum. It unfolds within a broader realignment that connects South America, the North Atlantic, and Nordic security. Viewers familiar with the recent analysis on the Nordic Channel will recognize that the European demand signal is only one side of the story. Latin Sentinel now takes the complementary perspective, how Brazil built a platform capable of influencing strategic thinking from the Baltic Sea to the Arctic Circle. The KC-390 was built on a simple but ambitious idea: a transport aircraft that could fly faster, lift more, cost less to maintain, and meet all NATO requirements despite being designed outside the alliance. Brazil's defense establishment understood early that relying on legacy C-130 variants constrained mission flexibility, especially in humanitarian and expeditionary roles. Embraer, with its strong track record in commercial aviation, applied a dual-use industrial philosophy that prioritized cost efficiency, maintainability, and interoperability. This resulted in a modern platform with advanced avionics, full fly-by-wire controls, and the ability to switch roles quickly. Brazil did not just want a better airlifter, it wanted an aircraft capable of penetrating markets traditionally dominated by the United States and, to a lesser extent, Airbus. Europe's security climate changed dramatically after the conflict in Ukraine. European militaries discovered that they had insufficient tactical airlift capacity and faced escalating demands for rapid movement of personnel, ammunition, and heavy equipment. The continent's strategic logistics network was designed for peacetime stability, not sustained high-tempo operations. Many countries relied heavily on aging C-130 fleets. The alternative, the A400M, offered impressive performance, but came with high procurement and lifecycle costs. Moreover, delays, supply chain challenges, and high maintenance burdens made the aircraft difficult for smaller nations to adopt. The KC-390 fit into the emerging gap: faster response than the C-130J, lower operating costs than the A400M, and a mission profile ideal for small and medium European air forces. Countries across Europe quickly recognized the value. Portugal became the first adopter, integrating the KC-390 into its strategic mobility planning with industrial involvement from local companies. Hungary followed, choosing the aircraft as the backbone of a new defense posture centered on rapid deployment and regional interoperability. The Netherlands decided to replace its C-130H fleet with the KC-390 after concluding that it provided more availability, shorter maintenance cycles, and better mission efficiency. Austria and the Czech Republic entered the program through a multinational arrangement, strengthening the concept of shared airlift within Central Europe. These deals illustrate a broader shift. European militaries increasingly seek platforms that are affordable, flexible, and politically neutral in procurement. A Brazilian aircraft satisfies these criteria while delivering NATO standard capability. The Nordic region plays a particularly important role in this trend. Northern Europe faces unique geographic and strategic pressures. The high north, Baltic Sea, and Arctic corridors require rapid movement of troops and supplies under harsh conditions. The Russian presence near the Arctic and increased patrol frequency in the Baltic Sea create constant logistical challenges for Nordic militaries. The KC-390's higher cruise speed compared to the C-130J, along with its modern de-icing and cold weather systems, makes it a strong candidate for future Arctic operations. Nordic governments have been evaluating long-term fleet renewal options, and the KC-390's performance in Europe has made it increasingly visible in these discussions. A second layer of connection arises from the deepening industrial relationship between Brazil and Sweden. The Gripen E program created a technological bridge linking Embraer, Saab, and several Nordic suppliers. This cooperation enhances interoperability and provides a foundation for future joint ventures in maintenance, repair, and overhaul. If Sweden chooses to expand its rapid deployment capability in the coming years, the KC-390 would integrate naturally into a wider Gripen-based force structure. The concept of a combined ecosystem of fighter and transport aircraft developed through Brazil-Nordic cooperation is not only feasible, but strategically appealing for both sides. Norway and Finland represent the most likely Nordic candidates for future KC-390 procurement. Norway's C-130J fleet will reach the end of its operational life in the 2030s, and the Air Force will soon need to decide on its replacement. Finland, meanwhile, is exploring ways to enhance mobility under its new NATO obligations. Both countries fit a pattern seen elsewhere in Europe, medium-sized air forces seeking reliable platforms that maximize readiness at manageable cost. Participation in a multinational KC-390 fleet or joint purchase agreements would offer economies of scale, standardized training, and shared infrastructure. The aircraft's compatibility with NATO systems strengthens its appeal in an era where interoperability has become paramount. The KC-390 offers several technical advantages that matter especially to Nordic militaries. It can carry heavier loads than the C-130J in many scenarios while maintaining higher cruise speeds. The aircraft's digital architecture allows quick reconfiguration for different missions, from medical evacuation to airborne operations. Its defensive systems are designed to meet modern electronic warfare threats, and its maintenance program is optimized for high availability. These qualities translate directly into operational value in the Arctic, where long distances and extreme weather penalize older aircraft. The KC-390's robust design allows it to operate effectively in demanding environments while reducing the logistical burdens placed on air crews and ground personnel. For Brazil, each KC-390 sale is more than a commercial victory. It strengthens the country's role in global security networks and opens doors for further cooperation in satellite technology, radar development, and unmanned systems. The presence of KC-390 aircraft across Europe gradually normalizes Brazil as an industrial and strategic partner. This has far-reaching implications for Brazil's long-term ambition to secure a stronger position in South Atlantic defense. As European militaries integrate the KC-390, they create new channels for political alignment, standardization, and shared operations that connect the Arctic region with the South Atlantic maritime domain. Brazil, through this aircraft, extends its strategic footprint from the Amazon to the Baltic Sea. Looking ahead, several scenarios appear plausible. Norway and Finland could join the KC-390 ecosystem, either through direct procurement or through participation in a multinational framework. Sweden might explore the platform as a complement to its expanding Gripen deployments. The Baltic states, lacking their own airlift fleets, could rely on KC-390 units through NATO cooperative structures. If these scenarios materialize, the KC-390 may become the default airlifter for medium European air forces, forming a mobility corridor stretching from Central Europe to the High North. The rise of the KC-390 showcases how a South American nation can shape European defense planning. It also provides a bridge between the Nordic and Latin Sentinel audiences. One channel examines the aircraft's relevance to Europe, while the other explains how Brazil built the capacity to influence distant regions. This dual perspective offers a more complete understanding of global air mobility and helps viewers appreciate the strategic link between the North Atlantic and the South Atlantic. By following this thread, the KC-390 becomes more than an aircraft. It becomes a symbol of how emerging powers can contribute to collective security in an increasingly interconnected world.